Well, hey, welcome to the show before the show, where I check to make sure everything is working. I have been out for the last few hours, is why you get this wonderfully named, wonderfully thumbnailed Kykar Winds of Fury? Winds of Fury sounds better, doesn't it? Uh, Winds Fury deck tech today. So, how are you all doing? I have always wanted to brew for Kykar. I had refused to in the past when this card was spoiled because I strictly did not touch blue. I still don't really touch the stuff. You know, I swore off it ages ago. Try not to touch the stuff. But it just came out with what is the coolest portrait art from Commander Masters, so I was enticed, to say the least. But yeah, the title of the video, just a play on both comedians and cars getting coffee and carpool karaoke. I hope you can appreciate that. Do you like how I spelled the word car with a K? There's no rhyme or reason today's stream, okay? I just want to have a good time with you all in a non-competitive manner. I don't know if this is going to be competitive, or I don't know how we can make this competitive with vehicles, but I like the suggestion so much that I think I want to do it. So we had a few suggestions. I put out, well, the information that we're doing the stream today a good 3 hours ago. And I had asked for some suggestions there, as well as in the previous poll that we ran that had, I think, over 2.5k votes, and a majority went to Kykar, but it was close on all fronts. The other cards were Omnath, which I've never brewed for either, the green one. And I like brewing in monocolors because it means that we have a limited card pool to work with. That means we'll get more off the wall cards. Kykar is in Jeskai, which means Brain Freeze, Underworld Breach, Lion's Eye Diamond, Savine's Reclamation, like all the dumb stuff we're kind of accustomed to. So yes, if we want to go super competitive, I would just add counter spells, draw utilities, other forms of interaction, silence effects, and then we would go with Underworld Breach lines of play. But we've done that before. That's boring. We want that new stuff. Local game group's all about that new stuff. So I asked you guys, and we got Ver linked their own deck list, which I'll encourage you to check out. I'm not gonna pin it because I pin my own comments. Okay, I pin my own comments on local game group, but there is a link to a Moxfield deck list that you all can check out. Speaking of, there is a link to this amazing deck list, which is just the bird right now, over in Tapped Out. You can take this deck wherever you want, okay? Don't ask me about Tapped Out. Or do. YouTube likes engagement. Ask me about Tapped Out. I play Kykar Anthems. All the Anthem triggers Kykar to make spirits go big. My wacky suggestion is Rose Room Treasurer and Devilish Valet, which I'll need to look up. One consideration I actually really liked from Mono Mana Maniac was Symmetry Matrix. I can't help but feel that Skull Clamp is probably just the easier option, but this is good. This is good for this deck. And I also heard Polymorph. And what I like about Polymorph, okay, I heard a lot of suggestions for Kykar, but what I like about Polymorph is the fact that we could roll with Tidespout Tyrant and have that just be the one target and have a bunch of vehicles to supplement, you know, the lack of other creatures in the deck with the spirits regenerating. I think that's actually kind of a cool concept. But I heard vehicles, I heard Convoke Tribal, a bunch of ideas come out for this, and it's impressive to hear all these suggestions because I never see these types of brews for Kykar. So let's take it a different direction today, people. Okay? We're going to go off brand today. We're going to do something that we don't typically do. We're going to do something potentially casual. There's going to be a combo though, don't worry. Okay. Yay, I'm here on time for once. Bloodblade, I salute you. Thank you. Thank you for joining, sir. Are we considering transmogrified transformation list? The answer is yes. This is funny, transmogrify. Yeah, there are a bunch of options in these colors. Feel free to click these little doodly doos. I don't know what they do. I don't remember these before, but they're fun, aren't they? I'll do the shocked face. I'll do the shocked face a majority of the time. But yeah, there's a bunch of options in these colors. Polymorph is sort of the OG, but we've got, you know, Divergent Transformations was just reprinted. We've got Transmogrifies was suggested. We have a bunch of different turn into other creature spells. And what's beautiful about this is I mentioned Tidespout Tyrant. You know, that's kind of one of the bigger hits. What's cool is that when you're casting spells, you make bodies to do that with. So it's like when I say Tidespout Tyrant, I don't need to get rid of Kykar to do that. Just use one of these dumb spirits. These soulless, stupid, dumb spirits. Birds are superior to spirits, by the way, if you didn't know. Vehicles. What? Yeah, maybe vehicles. But I don't know how far we'll dip our toes into the pool, okay? I love monocolored too for that exact same reason. I like polymorph Kykar, but there is definitely a very high opportunity cost for the strategy. I don't know what I really want to polymorph into. I might add like 2 of those effects just to say we did it, but I think that Tidespout Tyrant's probably my favorite option just because it plays well with what we're doing. Like we could literally use Kykar and Tidespout Tyrant along with a bunch of interaction to just build up a dumb board state of vehicled spirits, and then obviously be able to bounce our opposing players' permanents. Here's the thing though, like if we go with, and I do think we should add infinite combos. Okay, look, I'm not crazy. Okay, we're gonna add the infinite combos because that's the name of the game I like to play. And Isochron Scepter Dramatic Reversal is still a thing. Okay, I know we're all on that new stuff. I know we like to, you know, snort a little bit of Thassa's Oracle every morning to get our day started. God, this is not a, I don't know why I'm talking like this today. But we're not going to use Thassa's Oracle like a little bitch. We're going to use cards like Isochron Dramatic Reversal because it actually takes skill to form and get to go off, okay? Okay? But if we did that, we'll be casting spells. Right? We should be. We should be casting spells. Yeah, you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. So that's going to trigger Tidespout Tyrant. And if you don't know what Tidespout Tyrant is, we mentioned it in a video I think we just put out. Let's switch optics. Let me give you a view. Oh god. Let me give you a view of what I'm looking at. Do you like my face there? Do you like my face here? That's better, right? That's better. Oh yeah. All right, Tidespout Tyrant. So you will never want to hardcast this. If it's in your hand, mulligan that hand. For 5 generic, triple blue, Jin, flying. Whenever you cast a spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. Wow, doesn't that work great with Isochron Scepter? Basically, it says, I own the board. I have a bunch of shitty little nonsense spirits. Actually, I love the idea of Underworld Breach in this deck and like you brain freeze. Oh, see, but we do that, it ruins it. I was gonna say we can have anger be one of the things that just gets binned, and then all of our spirits have haste. But there are other forms of mass haste enabling. I don't really want to incorporate mass hysteria or any of the enchantment-based mass haste enabling if it's only an outlet for that. But anger's cute, I feel. Why is anger more acceptable than mass hysteria in my mind? I don't know why. Because I don't have to cast it, that's why. But if we don't go for Transmogrify, then maybe a mass mill into Anger in the Grave would be cooler. Brewing with blue, too easy, Andrew. I know, guys, feels like I got training wheels on. 40% of this deck is already made. I need water. I think that's what I need. I'm gonna read your comments though in my mind palace. MTG Spec says, polymorph into creatures that make more tokens. Oh god, that's just insanity. Ancient Gold Dragon, Watcher in the Water. Isn't Tidespout Tyrant the inferior bounce creature? Inferior to what? Hullbreaker Horror? I think Hullbreaker Horror is something that people like as well. Tidespout Tyrant's good in that it bounces any form of permanent. Hullbreaker Horror bounces retargets a spell you don't control to its owner's hand. It will bounce like, hey, you want to what? You want to do what to me? And then you bounce it back to their hand and you're like, okay, well, I hope you have the mana to do it again. Or you return target non-land permanent. Either one, whatever you guys want. Like, is there a better, there's no great way to poll this. Here, hit this. I'm going to say there's no There's no effective way to use this button, is there? Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this. Would you rather give me some options for transmogrify targets, and then I'm gonna say one of the targets, and you're gonna hit this button, right? In the more splooshes of emojis I see on the screen, we're gonna go with that one. So give me your favorite. Let's do this really quick. Give me your favorite Tidespout Tyrant. This is stupid. I'm not gonna. Here, I'll start a Q&A. Favorite transmog creature, and you can give me your favorites. Show before the show, folks. Okay, we're setting this up. I want to make sure we do this deck right. Okay, so just in the comments, what are your what do you want to go into? I already see Ancient Gold Dragon, Watcher in the Water. So for me, because we're storming, right? Well, we should be storming. I think that's the idea of this deck. Then don't people do Kykar Storm? My thought was casting spells sounds like a good thing to do with this guy or girl. I don't know what Kykar is. Whenever you cast a spell, so like that's why Hullbreaker Horror and Tidespout Tyrant came to mind. But if there are better things to do, please let me know, and then we will splooge the emojis on the screen together. How about that? How about that? Ancient Gold. I see bronze. I see copper. Whenever Ancient Gold Dragon deals coming damage to a player, roll a d20, create a number of blue fairies. Well, we got the flyers. We're good. We'll be able to crew those vehicles. I do like the vehicle sub-strategy, by the way. We will be looking up vehicles as part of today's practice. Isn't Tidespout? No, I don't know about that. Groz, make the spirits into juggernauts. You're right, Victoria. What's the name of the other dude that's better? I can't remember its name. Oh, you literally had the conversation without me. I'm sorry. Let me just read through the comments. Hullbreaker Horror. Yeah, that's the other one. Should Eidolon of Rhetoric be auto-include in this deck? Eidolon of Rhetoric be auto-include. So if you don't know, no, it's a rule of law effect, and rule of law is, rule of law. Because we want to transmog out or polymorph out a creature, I think it's a no. Unless we didn't. I mean, if we're not going for polycombo, exactly. Thank you, Yagi. There we go. I like running both if I run one, but that's definitely the superior bad boy. You could honestly have both. I like bouncing lands though, honestly, because you only get one of those per turn. So the more lands you bounce, the more effective it can be. I think it's better, but having both isn't bad, because what if you get stomped? What if they remove your ability to play one by removing the creature, right? Hullbreaker Horror. Sire of Insanity is my favorite, but wrong colors. Yeah, no, it's my favorite too. We won't do that to players today though. But yeah, please give me your favorite polymorph target in Jeskai. That is blue, white, red, right now. Otherwise, you forever hold your peace. You're never gonna get another say in this deck again, unless you stay for the rest of its construction. I don't know. By the way, while you're here, thanks for joining. I hope this is a fun brew. I suspect it will be, because I intend to take it a very dumb direction. But it's still going to be good. It'll still be competitive. I'm going to add some of the cards I've mentioned already. Like, I do want to do Isochron Scepter shenanigans. I do want to use Intuition to help set that up. That also means Savine's Reclamation is a thing. Savine's Reclamation is a thing. And then we want to do, what's it called? Underworld Breach. I feel like people like that card. But I'm going to put some things in just in the background here. Ignore me. But really, Phil, no thoughts on polymorph creatures. Thank you. Andrew, Stormtide Leviathan. Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze is still good. We will add the Lion's Eye Diamond business, okay? Lion's Eye Diamond, cool, love it, gotta have it. Okay. Again, I just want one creature. My fave is Hullbreaker Horror, but I think it's best to run both. They're practically redundant and allow for some resilience, right? What about Brudiclad? What about Brudiclad? What about Brudiclad? Terror of the Peaks. If we are polymorphing into other creatures, we might as well deal some damage. Then the spirits can also ping. Ooh. Terror of the Peaks has a really cool... Oh, God. I was just trying to socialize with you guys. Let's look at cards now. At the beginning of comment on your turn, creature tokens you control have haste. Okay. So that's one... that is one enabler. It's one way to find it. Yes. If you do, creature tokens copy. Then you may choose a token you control. If you do, each other token becomes a copy of that token. I don't know if I really care for the second half of the ability. I mean, it's a better... I would rather just keep the evasion and not have my things be 2/1s, but gaining the haste is what's relevant. I think that's probably the more relevant aspect of Brudeclad. So let's do this. I like Terror of the Peaks because Terror of the Peaks has a 2-card combo with a green spirit Oni thing that no one uses. No one does this. But there's a thing you can do with a spirit to kill players. I forget the name of that card though, it's killing me. Terror of the Peaks. Spells your opponents cast that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life to cast. That's right. Bolt yourself. Bolt yourself, baby boy. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So, we've got Terror of the Peaks, people. Who wants Terror of the Peaks in the deck? Again, splooge as many emojis as you'd like. And I'm gonna we'll look for the biggest splooge. It doesn't sound like Terror of the Peaks is getting many splooges. I saw 2. I saw 2. Okay, that was 2. That's enough. As soon as it's like popcorn in the microwave. When you hear the last pop, give it like 2.5 seconds, right? If no more corns pop, take it out of the microwave. You know it's done. That's how we're doing it today, okay? Oh, is this for Terror of the Peaks? Or is this for Brutaclad? I'm seeing the hearts come in. Okay. Man, there's a delay with all of this, I realize. Okay, next up, Brutaclad. Would you like Brutaclad to be the transmog target? And then we're going to get to the deck, I promise. Brutaclad as the target. Hit it with them emojis. I'm giving these an account internally in my head. I want to make use of these little emojis, so let's do that. Elsha can be good too if we go Divergent Poly. Elsha. Either of the powerful Jin-Gitaxias guys are pretty sweet to transform into, but not good compared to winning off of Hullbreaker Horror. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So on that note, Hullbreaker Horror, do we like the Kraken Horror? The lobster that could. Neither Brutaclad nor Terror of the Peaks win the game. No, they don't. All right, vote for Hullbreaker Horror, because we're only going to start with one in the deck. I'm not going to put both Tidespout Tyrant and Hullbreaker Horror. There's too much stuff we got to do. So give this a like. Give this a emoji. It could be a celebratory horn blow with confetti. It could be a heart, a smiley face, a shocked lad. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Feel free to just hit up the screen with as many of these emojis. Because right now it looks like Terror of the Peaks won. Okay, so I'm counting. I'm waiting for the last one, and then I'm going to give it 2.5 seconds. Popcorn rule. Okay. What about Brutaclad? Spirits can ping also. Right. I'm just going to look up Elsha while we're here. Okay. So it's safe to say Hullbreaker's still in the running. Hullbreaker's still in the running. Hullbreaker Horror looks like a favorite. And yes, I've seen Elsha in a lot of these builds. I feel like Elsha is one of the top combo cards for this deck. And again, I've never played a Kykar, so I couldn't tell you what all the pro players are using. But I feel like I've seen Elsha in a list or two. You may look at the top card of your library any time. Prowess is cool. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1. That's less relevant to us. But you do have a very big beater. You may cast non-creature spells from the top of your library. If you cast the spell this way, you may cast it as though it had flash. I'm still looking at the emojis, trust me. I'm still looking. Still looking. Alright. Let's do yeah, Elsha is very good for Kykar instant win speed wins. Instant speed wins, you say? You may cast non-creature spells from the top of your library. If you cast a spell this way, you may cast as though it had flash. Ah, I see. I see. Is there a spell that puts a thing? Oh, Sensei's Divining Top. Sensei's Divining Top with Elsha of the Infinite. And then you make a creature every time you cast it. Creature's worth 1 red mana. Is there a... Do you do like... Is there something you could do with Rings of Brighthearth? Is there a way to just draw the deck that way? I know with infinite mana you could just do that. That's kind of cool. I like it. Non-creature spell, yeah, because Elsha works too. All right, you're going overboard now with emojis, people. Wait, I'm joking. You're not. Please carry on. Feel free to tag those emojis. I'm curious to see if it has any impact on the video. I really doubt it does, but I am curious. However, what I would love to see is potentially Elsha in the list as well. So it's Hullbreaker Horror or Elsha of the Infinite. So now, when you put in your emojis, and we've been going on for like a minute of pure love for Hullbreaker Horror. So I'm curious, if you guys wanted to use Elsha of the Infinite as our transmog target, now hit one of these emojis. Heart, smiley face, funfetti. Hit it up. But you need top, yeah, top specifically. Top, Sensei's Divining Top is the first thing to come to mind for me. I don't know if there are other, cast this spell and put it on top of your deck instead of your graveyard. You know, I don't, frankly, I don't know. That's something I would have to research. If there is like an Elsha card you guys know of, I know Elsha is its own deck. Please let me know, because I haven't thought about this legend in years, but here we are. Here we are. Oh, but yes, so starting now, go ahead and hit the emoji for Elsha, and we'll see if Elsha gets the most emojis. We literally went for a minute there. I think it's Hullbreaker Horror. But we're just having fun. We're just having funsies. If you want to follow along with the deck, you can. It's in the description. With Divergent Transformation, you get both Spellseeker and Elsha, with Spellseeker fetching Enlightened Tutor. Ah, yeah. Yeah. And as top and is on top, you can... As top is on top. Right. Chisana, thank you. Bloodblade says, Chisana, thank you. I agree. I really like that strategy. Divergent Transformations is one of those tricky transmog cards because you don't always have the creatures to actually actively use it for how it is meant to function. However, I'm trying to think. Oh god, I really like this. I really like this strategy. So do we do that? I don't know. That seems really fun. What I want to do is research vehicles with you guys and get this thing officially started. Again, we've been at it for a good 20 minutes, but thank you for joining me on this, the day of Kykar. I'm your host, Patrick Marlette, your local game guy, and we're going to be building Kykar Wins Fury. Maybe you've heard of the bird. So Kykar Wins Fury is an interesting Stormmander. We just got a reprint and Commander Masters, and this is arguably the best art for this card. I know people like the Hadoken bird, but this close-up is too much for me. I think it's amazing. So for generic and Jeskai, Kykar Wins Fury, bird, wizard, 3/3 legendary creature, flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Cool. Relevant subtype for Kykar, obviously. Sacrifice a spirit, add red. So it doesn't need to be a spirit that Kykar created. We could even cast a spell that made spirit tokens, and then Kykar made a spirit token, and it will operate as a ritual for us. So if there are any cool generate spirit cards that you want to incorporate as rituals, and you let me know, are there any good ones? Doubtful. But that is relevant to note. It doesn't matter that it's a creature you generated with Kykar, only that it's a spirit. 3/3 is relevant because it just puts you above the average piece of removal you'll see. Obviously, in a Braid, a Lightning Bolt, there are still things that will kill Kykar, but I don't think Kykar is going to be the prime target. There are a lot of other offenders out there, namely commanders that draw, that are going to thwart us. You'll notice, if you're following along, we don't have a land base. I literally have been out all day doing errands, so I didn't have a chance to do that. So you are going to get to do the sexy job with me. of selecting the land base for Kykar. Or we could just like proxy whatever. We could just put in, you know, the 8, 8, and 10 islands, 8 mountains, 8 white, 8 plains, and just call it a day, and pretendsies like that's a good land base. Just for the purposes of testing, like I might even do that. But it would be better to just give us a proper land base. Let me see here. Chaotic transformation, and we can polymorph all card types. That's a little too chaotic for me, Victoria. Well, permanence. Yeah, right. So we've got chaotic transformations. Is there, okay, so let's look up, what is the wording we want to type in? It's destroy, reveal, put battlefield? Are those do those words sound familiar to you? So what we're going to do is the fun stuff first, okay? So we're going to find the right transmog cards for us. So this could be divergent transformations if we decide to go. There you go. This doesn't hit all of them, though. Okay. I forgot about Shifting Shadow. Shifting Shadow is interesting because enchanted creature has haste, and at the end... what the hell? Sorry. Technology scares me. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy this creature. So we could put this on a spirit. It is delayed, but it will do the thing. Polymorph is a classic. We've got Indomitable Creativity. I don't think I've seen Chaotic Transformations. Maybe I'm crazy. I'll look at it, though. Destroy target permanent. An opponent controls the tutorial reveals cards on top of their library. We're never going to do that. Much fun watching your brew one of my fave Jeskai Manders. Chisana, I am super excited to do it, and I hope the route we go is decent. Again, my creative backbone when it comes to brewing in Commander, at least, is from a competitive end. Like, I usually build lists that are trying to either stop everyone from winning by turn 3 or win by turn 3, the latest, right? And that's what it's more fun or more appealing, I think, to watch a live stream where a deck's like, it's popping off on turn 1, but today we're just trying to have fun. Otawara and Aiganjo are auto includes in any deck I put with these colors. Proteus Staff is a little suggestion. Proteus Staff does, I think, the thing for us. But let me see. I'll add those lands really quick. Otawara. Otawara is the bounce one. And Aiganjo is the one. Aiganjo? Uganjo? Weganjo. This is one that like kills a creature if it's attacking, and it's less or more than something or other. Forget. Okay. Put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals a creature card. The player puts that card into play, and the rest onto the bottom of his or her library. I like this. You know why I like this? It's expensive, but it's cool if we had multiple targets, because then it's repeatable value. So if we did go the way of Hullbreaker Horror, which we talked about, and Tidespout Tyrant, or having multiples, then it would be good to have multiple effects that do this, or rather one card that did this multiple times. And we should be using our spirits like ritual mana, so we should just have the excess generic to cast and do this twice. Provided we have untapped shenanigans going on, we might be able to do this more. Mirix for tokens? Mirix for tokens? Oh. I think I know what you're talking about. Chaos Mutation, Luca Coppercoat Outcast, Mass Polymorph, Polymorph Synthetic Destiny Transmogrify. Soken Sen makes tokens too. What is this? Add 1 mana of any color, activate Mirix if it entered the battlefield this turn. Create a 1/1 creature token. This creature can't block. You know what's cool about this? If we actually did use Elsha, or no, if we used Brutaclad, making a token that was a Phyrexian Might with Toxic, and then making all of our flyers 1/1s with Toxic would be kind of cool. But I'm not sure about that. Top Elsha Kykar is cool infinite combo. Yeah, Jake, we were just talking about that. I don't think that's a bad call. There's a card that was suggested that I really liked called Symmetry Matrix. Let me know if you guys want to incorporate this. I believe it's from Brothers War. But Symmetry Matrix is an interesting 4 CMC artifact that when a creature enters the battlefield, if it has the same attack as it has defense, you can pay 1 generic and draw a card. I feel like this is cool. It's very, very quirky draw, right? And we should be doing this frequently. But isn't Mentor the Meek better? Or Mentor of the Meek? Whatever. Whatever. Card draw. Am I wrong? Internet be slow today. By the way, hope the stream lasts. Internet went down in this building like a second ago, just to add to the list of things happening in my life. Internet went down, so if it looks sluggish, I'm plugged into the nation's fastest internet apparently with Fios, and well, you get what you see here. Let's go ahead and I want to look up the mana base. There you go. Whenever another creature enters with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 if you do draw a card. So it's a little less costly, but it's more or less the same thing. Watch out for adding creatures though if you're transmogrifying. I know Takasia's Welcome could work here. What we want to do though is make sure we add enough draw utilities. So I like Symmetry Matrix for now. I like Skull Clamp. I'm just going to put some of the draw utilities that I know of that we should incorporate. We will be avoiding Esper Sentinel this go around, but we want to use Rhystic Study and Mystic Remora, obviously, because those aren't going to impede us. If there are any other draw utilities you really like, again, we're going to have to avoid Archivist Ogma and Esper Sentinel. Generally considered good draw utilities. The blue ones are going to be the ones we actually look for the most. But I like Skull Clamp, Symmetry Matrix, and what's nice about Symmetry Matrix is also our artifact tutors will find them. So we can find them should we like, but I do think, again, Skull Clamp is going to be the predominant target for us. Takasia's Welcome is great suggestion. Cool. Yeah, and please keep making, please, I mean, that's why we do these. I did not give you the preamble earlier, but why I like doing these lives is the fact that you all have opinions that are very much valid, and it helps this process a whole lot. So please let me know if you guys have any sort of draw utilities in mind for this deck. Again, I don't really fool with token strategies either, so I feel like there's probably more here than meets the eye. 2 generic and a white enchantment. Whenever one or more creatures with a mana value 3 or less enter the battlefield, draw a card. The trigger is only once each turn. So each turn, right? So it's not each of your turns. So yes, you will get to draw off turn without any mana threshold. You don't need to pay for that. I don't hate this. Bear in mind that this is a 3-cost do nothing on cast. For a list that's polymorph, it's a 3-cost do nothing on cast, and Kykar doesn't trigger it. It's only after we get this down and Kykar, 7 mana total, and start casting things, will we start benefiting from this. Okay, that's not to say it's bad. It just means that there's a high setup, and the floor is really low on this card. There is no real value in casting this by itself. We need Kykar down, and you get it. But I like it. I think that this is a good substitute for not being able to use our, Esper Sentinel. I think this is a fine switch. Takasia, welcome as card draw. Thank you, Bloodblade. If I'm missing no, you're right. A cult epiphany I've not heard of. So after we get some of these draw utilities in, I want to go ahead and take a second to look up vehicles. Yes, vehicles. I do want to consider vehicles. Smuggler's Thopter, anyone? Instant speed, X in a blue. Draw X cards, then discard X cards. Create a 1/1 spirit creature token with flying for each card type among cards discarded this way. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on here, but I'll tell you what I like. It's not as an additional cost. You must discard X cards, where X equal, you know, the mana you put into it. So if this gets countered on the stack and someone's like, oh no, I can't let them have this value. If this gets countered on the stack, you don't lose cards. You lose nothing except for mana. And you will get a spirit out of it, provided Kykar's on the battlefield. What I like about this is it plays into a sub-strategy I was talking about earlier. Are there any good cards that just generate spirits? Because when I read this, it says, oh, draw X, discard X, and then I get to make spirits. What I like about this is that it's giving me ramp as well, because Kykar will sacrifice those spirits, or we just keep them. I like this, and I also want to consider some convoke abilities too, but I'll put a Occult Epiphany in. That's really cool. I don't think I've ever seen this card played. Let me say that. I feel like I've probably seen it, but I've never seen it played. And Quarrel's End, you say? Normally when I look at draw utilities, I mean things that are gonna be permanent based and provide draw over the course of the game, but this is a really cool instant speed piece of draw. Both draw and create tokens. MTG Specs. This is for you. This is for you, MTG Specs. Those hearts are mine. All those hearts are mine. Can trigger that on opponent's turn by casting instants. Yeah. Jessica's Will. Jessica's Will is I've heard it's a good card. Brainstorm is not in the list yet, but it should be. So I'll add that. I'm sorry, is Brainstorm one word? It's one word, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Brainstorm and Scroll Rack could help if you happen to draw your transmog target. Yeah, you know, I'm never really high on Scroll Rack. We could put Scroll Rack in. It's niche playable. I get what you're saying though. Because mind you, we're making mana every time we cast a spell. So things like Snap or things like Frantic Search, things that we can cast that are going to untap our lands, are also going to just provide ramp by way of spirits. So if one of these, if the transmog target gets stuck in our hand, Hullbreaker Horror, he's not that expensive to cast. And it's also only 2 blue pips. Bearing in mind, the spirits we sacrifice only provide red. So we should have the mana requisite to just put the creature down. As additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards, and create 2 human soldier creature tokens. I don't like this one as much. But regardless, you get all those hearts. The hearts happen. I can't take them back. You know, any thoughts on Verity Circle? I like Verity Circle, by the way. Feel free to just slap an emoji. It's such a dumb feature. I see it on TikTok. I don't really see people use it much here. I like that YouTube's trying to incorporate it, but if I do some shit that impresses you, slap the emoji, whichever one. It's appreciated. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, if it isn't being declared as an attacker, you may draw a card. I don't know how I feel about Verity Circle. I don't know how I feel about Verity Circle. I can't say I'm too high on this effect. It's good against like the Thrasios players, I guess, and green is not as prominent as it used to be, so I'm not too concerned about creatures going sideways for anything other than an attack, because generally speaking, at least the groups I play in, it's a Crom and a Tymna doing the attacking, or it's something that, or they probably just wouldn't attack, to be honest, because usually we're trying to win infinitely in a cEDH setting, so going sideways isn't that important unless you're trying to take the player who's playing black down a peg, right? I think it's time to search crew, or to search vehicle, actually, to search crew, because there might be some effects that play with the crew mechanic that would be fun. So just, but if there are words that incorporate the letters crew, it might mess up the search. But regardless, we're looking at vehicles, but we're looking at vehicles in a roundabout way. How about that? How about that? Because this is about Kykar in a car getting comedians to do karaoke. Oh, I should expand upon this title. I think Verity Circle is a house Since when a board wipe comes, you can just sack the spirits to pay for the ability and draw a few cards. Pay for the ability of tapping target creature without flying? Which ability? To just make red mana. Whenever a creature your opponent controls is tapped, if it isn't... Well, if a board wipe comes... I don't think I follow, but you seem jazzed, and I'm going to give you a bunch of 100s. Shorika, Genesis Engine. Before I look at Clown Car and the rest of these amazing... vehicles, we're going to look up Shorikai. So glad Kykar Sky Cars got the nod. MTG Specs, yes. Yes, it did. I really like this concept alongside Transmogrify, which we did not add to the list, by the way. And whose fault is that? Whose fault, audience? I'm just the guy behind the keyboard. You're the ones with the suggestions. I don't know why I did that to you. I don't know why I did that at all. I'm sorry. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. Create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token with this creature's cruise. Can't talk. This creature cruise vehicles as though its power were 2 or greater. 2 or greater. What? Okay, look, we're not going that hard on the crew mechanic. Sorry. When Clown Cars enters the battlefield, roll a 6-sided die. For each odd result, create a 1/1 white clown robot. That little symbol at the bottom's an ellipses. Doesn't that mean we get to play this card? It's not an acorn, right? So we can make 1/1 white clown robot artifact creature tokens. For each even result, put a +1/+1 counter on a clown car. It runs on laughing gas. I don't know about that. We're just looking for vehicles that have interesting or good effects, okay? Just bear with me. We could swift reconfigure our Kykar and crew it with spirits. How about that? That would protect Kykar from creature removal. Hear me out. Please tell me this wasn't suggested to include in the deck. Is this cEDH? Is this cEDH bring? Kenneth, you weren't here from the beginning, were you? You did get your out Whirlwind of Thought. Maybe it fits as a draw engine? Stephen, Kykar. Kenneth, we're not going to add that many vehicles, okay? But yes, it is a heavy consideration. Whirlwind is good to include fuel to fuel you. Whirlwind of Thought? I'm going to take your suggestion and I'm going to put it in the deck. Because I've not, we went over draw utilities, but we might have missed a few. No. Yeah, Kenneth, this deck is not, like I said, we're in Jeskai. We can do so many better things. We could do so many better things with this deck. But that wasn't the goal today. The goal is to make Kykar in a car doing karaoke. The singing you're going to have to provide as a player, but we're going to crew some mother-loving vehicles if it's the last thing I do. I just want to put some interesting utility vehicles that no one would expect. And like, I would say 2 to 5 tops. Because there needs to be other shit. Look, there's going to be Intuition, Underworld Breach, Lion's Eye Diamond, all the shit you'd expect from a competitive list. It's just not going hard on... It would be like I would just suggest you go to Moxfield and look up cEDH Kykar at that point. You know what I mean? That's not exciting. I don't want to recreate a list that's pre-existing. We're gonna do something new, baby. Nautiloid ship? Yep, I'm very slow to the joke. Oh no, you're good. Imposter mech. You may have Imposter mech enter a copy as a creature an opponent controls, except as a vehicle artifact with crew 3, and it loses all. This is cool. Imposter mech is cool. Wait, okay, so hear me out. What I like about Imposter mech crew, you can do at instant speed, right? What I like about Imposter mech is that it gives us anyone else's utility on command. Mind you, it's very expensive to do. The crew 3 is costly because, well, actually Kykar is a 3, right? Kykar is 3 power. I'm forgetting that Kykar can crew vehicles too. So it's not that bad. That's Imposter Mech is definitely in my book. Enters the battlefield, tap one target creature. Flash flying. Ooh, it upgrades. It upgrades. Imagine a spirit on this motorbike. It's no more far-fetched than a rat, I guess. War of Invention should be good. Oh, God. Stop with the good suggestions. But please, no, honestly. Do, Johan, all those hearts are for you. All those hearts are for you. If you have any cool Convoke suggestions or suggestions for the spirits or interesting spirit token generation effects, I'm also going to look those up. Let me know. Kykar Karaoke Queens. We all know. Kykar Karaoke's Queen. We all know it. Yeah, drunk. Imposter is dope. I agree. You should add Gala. It would be busted. Gargalon? I'm going to add it to the side and we're going to look at it later. Anything that I don't know off the top of my head, I'm going to add to the side. Gargadon? Gargalon I've never heard of. You can get any ETBs like Dockside or another non-token creature version creatures with good static effects. Invoke City on Fire. Okay, so this is one I think I know, but I don't know really. So it's going to go on the side. Gargle on these nuts. Oh, you got me. You got, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Heart of Kieran 2. Crew 3. Remember, Kykar crewable. You may remove the... That turned lame really quick. Exile, no, we don't want that shit. It's cute. I don't want it. Reckoner Bank Buster. Enters the battlefield with 3 charge counters. God, that seems involved. No, thank you. Becomes crewed up to one other target vehicle you control becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. No. Smuggler Copter's legit. It might be legit with the, it's a looter. It's a scooter. It's not really, actually the discarding could set up some cool Savine's Wreck plays, but also it's spirit crewable. It's a 3/3, okay? Sky Skiff can go away. Deals combat damage to a player or a planeswalker, draw a card. Silent Submersible, baby. 2 spirits to crew this? 2 spirits to crew a Silent Submersible. Bearing in mind we're able to still sacrifice them. Silent Submersible. I like it. I'm actually finding a lot of vehicles I do like. This is going to be a stupid deck. I'm sorry. Whenever a creature you control explores, put a 1/1 counter on Shadowed Caravel. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Deluxe Dragster. Hunter, I'm glad you appreciated your own joke. Muddle the Mixture seems good if we have ISO ret. We're doing Isochron. I think I put Isochron Scepter. I don't think I put Dramatic Reversal. Like, who the hell am I? Yes, ISO Rev is a thing. And I agree with you. I think Muddle the Mixture is going to be good. Include as well. Thank you, Blood. TARDIS, Thumbscrews, nope. Exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. That's actually kind of cool utility. Power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards exiled. That's cute. I don't think it's good though. Either Sphere Harvester. Nope. Nope. We're not playing with energy. It gains lifelink. We don't care. Aerial Surveyor. Whenever Aerial Surveyor attacks, the defending player controls more lands than you. Search your library for a basic plains card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. I don't think we're gonna have very many basic plains. Excuse me. Oh wow, the Brute Suit. It's a Brute Suit Riot. Crew 1 for Vigilant 4/3 body. That's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. But it legitimately, and I mean this, it's kind of cool that our spirits can not only be blockers for Tymna, they can also crew and destroy Tymna. Like if we had anything that let us flash in colorless spells, or like Skittering Cicada, like we just talked about on the channel. Watch the newest video, give it a like, share it, show your grandma, she's gonna love it. It's actually kind of cool if you can flash in this and then have it as, because like when you flash Brute Suit in, you also make the spirit to crew it, and you can block and just crush something. So if Kykar is going sideways, it is also a flyer. It's kind of cool. Sorry. Urza. Drunk Logic. Because we're doing a transmog thing, I'm gonna have to say no, but I do like Urza. Tell me if you guys like Brute. Do we Brute Suit? Do we put on our best Brute Suit? Legitimately, I don't think Brute Suit is horrible. It's just damage. It is just damage. It's no draw. It's no silence immersible, okay? More reactive card, but unlicensed Hearst for Grave Hate. I'm sorry, someone else also suggested the Parthenon, Parleon. It's gonna be down here. Let me look up the Hearst as well. I'm with you though. I like the untap target artifact or creature you control, actually, with the mobile garrison. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's gonna work with that. But I'm enjoying way too many of these crew machines. And we need to move on with life, I think. So I will just go to the suggestions soon. At a certain point, these are not as playable, like as the cost go up. But at the end of combat, if Daredevil Dragster attacked or blocked this combat, put 2 velocity counters on it. If it has 2 or more velocity counters on it, sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. Sounds bad to me. Whenever Getaway Car attacks or blocks, return up to 1 target creature that crewed it this turn to its owner's hand. Yes, I really want to get rid of... Well. If we were using Dockside Extortionist, hear me out. If we did use Dockside Extortionist, this is some cool tech with Dockside. That's actually really cool tech with Dockside. Could you imagine? You're just like, I'm going to smack you for 4, and then I'm going to make more treasures. Is that cool with you? Sacrifice 2 treasures, return Gilded Assault card from the graveyard to your hand. As soon as I get past the 3 CMC stuff, I'm just going to move on to your suggestions, folks. Unit attacks, return target creature or vehicle card with a mana value of 2 or less from the graveyard to your hand. Nope. Nope. Litta. She's so lit. Just excuse me today. Haste. When marauding dealership enters the battlefield, incubate 2. Oh, that's sick. No, we don't want that, but it's cool. Mighty Servant of Luke O. Ooh. So, Kykar, cast this. Spirit, crew 4. Whenever Mighty Servant of Luke O becomes crewed for the first time each turn, if it was crewed by exactly 2 creatures, it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw 2 cards. Stop. Mighty Servant. I like it. I like it a lot. This is so cool. Why do I like this? Why is this exciting? I like it. I like it enough. It's interesting. It has trample. It's a 6/6. It's good. It's good, damn it. Whenever Mind Link mech becomes crewed for the first time each turn, Mind Link becomes a copy of target non-legendary creature that crewed it, except it's a 4/3 vehicle artifact in addition to its other types, and it has flying. So our spirits can crew this, and it will become a sacrificable spirit. That's cool, I guess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it becomes Museum attack becomes an artifact creature and gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Well, that's kind of cool. You don't really have to crew it to get the benefit. It gets really strong too. I don't mind that at all. Wow, there are a lot of 3 CMC ones. I'm sorry. We're gonna go through these last ones quick. This is kind of fun. I'm entertained, I hope. Parleon 2. Give the shocked face if you're also impressed by the amount of vehicles that are honestly decently playable. When Night Scythe enters... Night Scythe! Thinking of so many songs right now. I'm sorry. My head's a radio, like on the regular. Anytime that something makes me think of a song, I'll sing that song. Create a 2/2 black Necron Warrior artifact creature token. Cool. Another target vehicle. Nope. When one or more vehicles you control attacks, create a 1/1 colorless pilot. This creature accrues vehicles 2 or greater. That's sick as hell, but we don't need it. When Raiders of the Lost Ark, if a land was put into the battlefield, taps. Okay. To trample. Nope. Don't need it. Don't need it. And we are on to Parleon. And Hearst. I think someone suggested Nautilid Ship. Nautilid Ship. Enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Yes. Deals damage to a player. It's flying. You may put a creature card exiled with Nautilid Ship onto the battlefield under your control. I kind of like this. I'm sorry. We also had someone said something about a hearse. Am I wrong? Unlicensed hearse. Unearthed, no. No, bad. Bad. There's a Parleon too. So this thing is crewable by Kykar and a Spirit. When it attacks, you create 2 4/4 flying. Wow. It's 8 to cast. It's 8 to cast. It's gonna go to the sideboard. Unlicensed hearse, though. We're gonna look that up. So what happened to Parleon 1? Let me know in the comments. If you know, I'd love to find out. I'm curious about its story. Unlicensed. Drum Bellower, I'm gonna look up in just a second. I promise. Oh, we did see this one. I had mixed feelings about this one. You don't need to crew it to get that effect, right? Right. We're gonna put it on the sideboard. Just gonna put it right there on the sideboard. Smack dab on the sideboard. And the Drum Bellower. So, folks, Deluxe Dragster. We did see that one. It's okay. Not to Quaiko. It's good. I don't know if we're gonna use it. Untap all creatures you control during each other player's untap step. One, it's a spirit. Because if I'm not using the spirit tokens for rituals, I will be sacrificing them for plays. I really don't hate this. This is such a cool suggestion. Who? Quaiko. This is for 100. 100, Quaiko. Yum. Yum. Tasty. Thank you for the suggestion. We're going to put that in. I like that a lot. It is very cool. Ah, oh, damn, that's a cool effect. I had no idea. We still need to make the land base. Still need to make the land base, folks. Right, exactly what I'm thinking. Like you were saying, so if we happen to use convocable cards, if we happen to crew things, and the thing that we crew is Vigilant, having it untap and be able to get crewed again is awesome. So what I want to add now are Convoke cards. I want to look up any interesting Convoke spells. I'm going to put Frantic Search and Snap just in the deck because I know that we'll want to use them. Snap is usually a utility you incorporate with Dockside. A little bit of pepper, adds a little bit of flavor. It's good, is what I'm saying. But we're going to use Convoke as our keyword. Look that up. Like Artistic Refusal, we convoke instance like Artistic Refusal. Let me look up just all of the convocables. All of them. Bring me everyone! So let's go ahead and get our tutor suite up. Just while we're here. You and I together. Let's do this. What do you want for tutors? What do you want for tutors and what do you want for interaction? Give me them. Give me the cards. Invasion of Segovia. Invasion of Segovia, it's a battle we can hit with our flyers, and it makes, you know what? Hold up. I kind of want to look up all the invasions, by the way, because, well, look, Invasion of Segovia might be the only one that's hyper playable, but I can see us using more than one. I'm going to end that poll. Who knows? There might be a better poll to put up in a second. But we're going to look up convocables. Convocables. But the invasions aren't a bad idea because we're going to be able to swing at them. We want to be able to swing at them. Artifact spells you cast have convoke. Chief Engineer. That's pretty sweet. That's actually really sweet. Hold up. So if we did the Elsha Sensei's Divining Top thing, if we did Divergent Spellseeker, no, what was it? Divergent Spellseeker Elsha. Spellseeker enters, grabs Enlightened Tutor. Enlightened Tutor gets Sensei's Divining Top. If Chief Engineer, it's a creature, dang it. But Chief Engineer would make it so that we make spirits, and the spirits can tap to play Sensei's Divining Top. So we're basically netting red as we go through our deck. That's kind of cool. I don't know if it's necessary, but it's very cool. Return to the Ranks is actually useful here with all the spirits we're generating. Return X target creature cards with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Never mind. I thought this worked on more than just creatures. Yeah, we're not going to use that. Benny Brax. Benny Brax. Zoologist. I'll look up Benny really quick. Actually, it's sideboard. If it's something I don't know that we may or may not want to incorporate, I'm just going to add it to the sideboard, and we'll add it in when we actually get to the full deck. Clever Concealment for Protection. Oh, is that the Force CMC one? Yeah. Clever Concealment's a good call here. It's tough with lists that don't go wide like this, but when you consequently go wide with spirits, hell yeah, that's very, very good protection. A lot. Sorry, I'm just giving all these a thorough look over. Oh my god. Oh, Benny Brax. Oh my god, Benny Brax. Did I say I was going to put this on the sideboard? We're going to put it on the sideboard because it's a creature that ruins our transmog combo, okay? Unless we just want to go pure Benny. Unless we want to go full Benny boy here. Which is something we could do. Conclave Tribunal, actually. Enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Conclave Tribunal is kind of cute. It does add to the dockside count, though. Not very excited about that. Transcendent Message. Convoke. Are the spirits... Hold up. Are the spirits blue? White. Damn. Draw X cards, though. I think it's fine. It's a little... Look, if the spirits were blue, then... yeah, I would say this is hyper playable. Like, I'm not worried about paying the cost of X, but that's fine. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it in the library. Stoke the Flames. Stoke the Flames is actually kind of dope. It's only a little bit better than a Bolt, though, so, like, I don't know. I wouldn't go that hard for it. Meeting of Minds. Draw 2 cards. That's pretty easy to get off in this deck. I don't know if it's necessarily good, though. And Conclave Phalanx. Nope. Remosian Greatsword. Oh, yes. You know, the Remosians are known for their blacksmithing skills. Meditation Puzzle. You gain 8 life. Yes, what white is truly about. Knight Errant of Eos enters the battlefield. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal 2 creature cards. Never gonna happen. Venerated Loxodon. Nope. Artistic Refusal. You suggested just a moment ago. Counter target spell. Draw 4 cards, then discard a card. Choose. I'm sorry. Choose one or both. Is there an instance where you're not trying to draw 2 cards and counter a spell? Yeah, we'll do that. Or not. Or yes? Okay, cool. We are. We are doing it. Oh, complete the circuit. Wait up. Hold up. Hold up. Is there a thing we want to complete the circuit with? I'm going to complete the circuit in the sideboard. That's not bad here. Genuinely not bad. Obelisk of Erd. Ooh. Ooh. It's an anthem. Someone was suggesting the side strategy of just having anthems in here. I don't hate Obelisk of Erd. It's a little costly though for what you're doing. Nope. Castla though. Castla. Whenever you cast another spell that has Convoke. Nah, Castla. Castla, Castla, Castla. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Triplicate Spirits is really, it just really reads as Chrome Mox is white, but also we can make 3 more spirits to sacrifice and convoke out other things. It's not so bad. Still bad. Don't get me wrong. Destroy all non-token creatures? It's the Hour of Reckoning. It is the Hour of Reckoning. I want a 1 mass board wipe, and that's probably the one we're going to go with. That's sick as hell. You said City of Fire also earlier. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage instead. Yes, City of Fire. It's not in the main deck right now, but it might enter main deck territory. Okay, people. Here's where I need your help. We want interaction. I want all of your interaction. Give me the best interaction you know about. The best. Only the finest. So your favorite counter spells, right? So, you know, what is it called? Fool of a Took. What is the card called? We might want that counter spell. Or not. People are liking it, though. I have to look it up. I totally forget. Stern Scolding. Stern Scolding. But yeah, give me your favorite interaction. All at once. Hit me. And we're going to throw it all in here. But while you're doing that, I'm going to add Enlightened Tutor. We're going to add Merchant Scroll. I added Intuition already. We're going to add, not Personal Tutor, Mystical Tutor. Mystical Tutor, yes. Yes. There aren't that many tutors I want to incorporate here, but we're going to add Gamble. We're going to add... Ooh. So I don't remember the blue search for artifact ones other than Tinker. Because that one's really good. Oh my god. Victoria. Force. You said one of those twice, though. Here's Guardianship. Thank you for getting the free ones out of the way. I like that. I might add some more redirects or some copy effects in here as well, because I actually do like copy spells quite a bit. Flip the switch, launch. Misstep is good. I know, Victoria, I'm joking you. I know there are 2. I just like that you covered all the free ones like lickety split. They're the best. Let's not kid ourselves. They're the best to play. Both counter and create a token. Launch mishap? Do they create spirit tokens? I'll put this on the side just because I don't know what it does. Again, flip the switch, you say. With a flip of the switch. I think we have War of Invention in the deck currently. But thank you for that suggestion. Even though it was a bad one. No, actually that suggestion was great. But we do have it in the deck already, so we're good. We're using a basic land base. You'll notice when we get to play testing this, we're going to play Pretensies with that land base because I got a little lazy about setting that up, okay? Can't be perfect, people. I just can't be perfect. I'm trying to find the ones that tutor for artifacts. One is coming to mind, just the image of it is in my mind, but I don't remember the name of it. Hi, is this Bird Wizard live brew? Lanks, guess what? It's live, baby! Slap it with the emojis. Help the live stream. Reshape is good. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Can we get fighter class in here? Tutor for skull clamp and equipment for 0. Ooh, Lanks. That one singular heart was for you. Someone else put a heart. It wasn't me. Yes, thank you. Reshape does search for artifacts. And yeah, we should fighter class for sure. I don't think we have 2 pieces of equipment in the deck. Maybe there's an excuse for Steel Shaper's Gift, though. I usually like to have at least 2 targets for tutors, but Skull Clamp is really good here. Skull Clamp is extremely good here. So part of me just wants to incorporate that one tutor minimally. Reshape is right here. You have to sacrifice an artifact and you search your library for another artifact. I think that's the one artifact tutor we're going to use. There's also Transmute artifact. It's, not everyone owns one of these. They're kind of expensive, but we'll incorporate Transmute artifact as well. It would be more interesting if we were incorporating Elsha and the Sensei's Divining Top like that, and it would be very super relevant. Did we already put Urza's Saga in? Urza's Saga, no. So the land base is a little lazy. I don't really want to go through looking up all of the cards we want to put in the list land-wise. So I'll leave the land base to you, or I might even revise it after this video because I've been looking to make another deck. And if this is something that I enjoy personally, then I might actually make this out. And then you'll get your proper land base. We'll incorporate Winds of Abandon. I also want to incorporate Swords, Plowshares, and Cyclonic Rift. Counterspells. I didn't really put any counterspells in here. We put Muddle the Mixture because we wanted it for the transmute aspect. I put Mental Misstep. I will put Delay. I'll put Swan Song, of course. We're gonna put Red and Pyroblast because they're always worth it. Pyroblast. Red Elemental Blast. I want to do... I forget the name of it. What is it? It's a good one. Oh, I don't remember. I usually have the same go-to counters for most. Oh, you know what? People are really turned on by an offer you can't refuse. So I will start incorporating that one. It's Dispel. Jeez Louise. That took a minute to find in my brain palace. I like Miscast too, but I think Miscast and an offer you can't refuse kind of rest in the same spot for a list. Oh, thank you. Flusterstorm's a good one. Transmute Artifact. Thank you. Fetches Skull Clamp 100%. What's the WinCon plan? So we have Isochron Dramatic Reversal lines for Infinite Birds. That is not a win in and of itself, though. We'll need to actually take a step back and just look at this list, because I have Brain Freeze and the Underworld Breach line of play in here. But right now, the win is technically Hullbreaker Horror transmogged out and then just not letting them have a board, which is stupid. It doesn't win on the spot is what I'm saying, but it's fun because we're killing them with vehicles. How about them apples? All right. I want to see where we're at, actually, because it would be nice to have something that just won on the spot. And I think I want to look at fighter class really quick. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Yeah. I don't mind fighter class. I need to look at our equipment. So I think we only have one, technically. Yeah, we only have one. Fighter class might get set to the side just because I prefer Steel Shaper's Gift for it, as fighter class adds to someone else's Dockside Extortionist count, and I don't quite like that. If I can avoid it, I will avoid it. If we're looping, can we fit Bitter Reunion as a token win con? Well, that's the thing. I don't have a token specific win con in the list. So if you have any token specific win cons you'd like to incorporate, let me know. We're going to go ahead and do Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mox Diamond, Chrome Mox, Jeweled Lotus, Lotus Petals. Gotta love your Lotus Petals, people. Bitter Reunion. Enters the battlefield. You may discard a card if you do draw 2 cards. That's actually kind of dope. Sacrifice Reunion. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. We're going to look Creatures Haste really quick. I want to see what all does that in these colors. Rite of Flame. Someone suggested Jessica's Will earlier. I do not think I put it in, though. We will incorporate that. Rite of Flame might be as far as I want to go for rituals in these colors. And I think that's all the fast mana I would want to incorporate. I don't think it's worth putting in Mox Opal. It's not worth putting in Mox Amber. We're making mana. That's not the trick. We're trying to draw cards. It's the trick we need our deck to do. Honestly, that might be one of the ones to do. Initially, I was thinking that we could use self-mill strategy, and then we would loop spells and then just have Anger in the graveyard, and Anger could be our haste enabler, right? But that doesn't, it doesn't really work if we're trying to polymorph out Hullbreaker Horror. And we could polymorph Hullbreaker Horror out pretty quickly, so. I don't know if this is the way I want to go. I kind of want to be able to just sacrifice, do damage based off of number of creatures. Is there a do damage to up to blank targets, damage number creatures? Let's see if that even yields a result. I don't know if you can tell, I have lots of thoughts on Kykar. I can tell. I like this legendary a lot because it lends itself to a lot of different strategies, all of which are really alluring. Like, I'm enjoying this build quite a bit. I hope you all are as well. If you are, feel free to leave this video with a like. It goes a long way, and I do mean that. But what I want to do is find a way to leverage our tokens that damages the board. And in an ideal world, I mean, we can incorporate something like a Grape Shot in here as well. It's just a Storm Finisher. We can incorporate Grape Shot, or we can incorporate the Fishbowl. I'm thinking that there might be something better, like, sacrifice a creature, deal damage, or impact tremors, or anything of that nature would also do the trick. It might even work to have Mana Echoes in the deck if we're doing some sort of infinite line. If it required infinite generic to do, we would have Mana Echoes for the requisite mana. Not sure that's entirely necessary, though. Oh, I love Fire Covenant. We're not in the colors for that, obviously, but I was just trying to see if I could find anything in these results, and I found way too much. Ooh. Ooh, good yawn. X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures where X is the greatest number. Okay. I think Grape Shot's going to be the solution for now, but let's see where what we are at card-wise. Ooh. Okay. God of the Forge. So we could also use Perforos for sure. We can use Perforos or we can use Impact Tremors. I don't mind. Is there one? Ooh. Dang it. I think it's Rakdos, though. The one where you sacrifice a permanent, sacrifice, deal damage. Yeah. Is there another one that lets you, like, whenever you sacrifice a permanent, deal damage to any target? That's what I want. That is definitely what I want. Because Kykar makes the spirit self-sacrificing. So we're able to leverage this to just ping targets down, which would be really, really dope. It's only one target, but there's last-ditch effort. We do want to hit a little bit higher than one target, sadly, just because, well, bearing in mind we do want to play for Underworld Breach as a line, so we're going to have, you know, access to that card again. So it's not the end of the world if it gets countered or, you know, it only hits the one person once. Impact Tremors only hits opponents, right? Perforos only hits opponents. I say that like it's a bad thing. I'm trying to find something that lets us deal damage to any target. Goblin Bombardment's one, yes. I would honestly prefer, though, that we just get to use Kykar's ability to sacrifice them, because then it generates red in the instance that we need red floating to use a red elemental blast or something, or do more beyond. You're good, Goblin Bombardment. The excitement got me. Yeah, you're good. You're good. We might use Goblin Bombardment if it comes down to it, because that was one that came to mind. Sacrifice a creature, deal 1 damage to any target. It definitely came to mind. I would really prefer it, though, if we were able to just sacrifice it, and then we had a card that says, whenever a permanent is sacrificed, it deals blah blah bloop. The Rakdos lizard guy. It's killing me that I can't remember its name. Rakdosian looking lizard guy. He does it when other opponents, like, it's for treasures, okay? When treasures are sacrificed, it pings things. Jorna. Mayhem Devil. Jeez Louise. Mayhem Devil. Havoc Jester? Havoc Jester. It also can't be a creature. I'm almost off the transmog thing because it's less appealing than crewing up and doing stupid things. Goblin Bombardment. I think that's where we're at. Seriously. Right, because this will work with our infinite token generation tricks. That's not so bad. Mayhem Devil. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Havoc does 1 damage when you sack. I'm just curious to look at it. Thank you for the suggestion. Is it a newer card? Havoc Jester. I need agua. Give me 1 second. God, I was out in the sun for hours earlier, so super dehydrated. Okay. I think that's it. I think that is it for us. Technically use Mortar Pod to do 1 damage to people, but you're not gonna do that. I do want to look up a few more things, though. Hissing Iguanar deals damage when a creature dies. Hissing Iguanar? Retribution is Hissing Iguanar. What CMC is Hissing Iguanar? I'm just trying to see if there's any interesting spirit generators. When a creature dies, no, I don't know what that. Occult Epiphany is in the deck already. I quite like it. 3 CMC is not bad. 3 CMC is actually not bad at all. Oh, you know what we do need to add? Actually, still, we need to add Transmogrify. And at least one more of these effects. I think we'll use Reality Scramble. And we'll probably leave it at that for now. Oh, hey. These are meant to be on the main board. Okay. Trying to see if we have any more. I mean, like, we could still incorporate more removal, honestly. Like, that's a good idea. I'm just not... I want to incorporate so many other dumb utilities that I'm distracted, I guess is what I'm saying. We're going to want to incorporate... I really want to look at my spirits really quick, and then I'll think about removal. I don't think any of these are going to be good. Let's move on to the rest of our removal suite. So I added Swords of Plowshare. I might add Path of Exile as well. Boo, boo, boo. Is that not what it's called? Path to Exile. Whoops. Going back to the equipment line, spirits hold JIT pretty well. Well, the only equipment we have in the list right now is Skull Clamp, but that doesn't mean we can incorporate more. I think JIT would be good for sure. JIT. We need to incorporate like a few more cards. I'm kind of... We've added so many interesting effects. Drum Bellower can't go in the main. Forgot about that. I really want to see where we are with the list right now. Because we want to hit Hullbreaker Horror, right? And honestly, we might want to incorporate Tidespout Tyrant as well. I did not take a second to look at... I did not take a second to look at any more battles. There might be some battles that are useful for us. We have a bunch of... We have a bunch of goofy... I might add Grim Monolith. A bunch of goofy vehicles to crew. I think they're going to be good. Tusky is welcome. Whirlwind of Thought. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. I like it. It's a little cost prohibitive. I'm going to keep it to the side. I'm also going to keep Fighter Class to the side for now for the same reasons I mentioned earlier. Sunforger. Sunforger. Wait. How does Sunforger read again? I don't mind that suggestion. Drum Bellower was a good suggestion earlier. It was meant to be sideboarded. If we don't do the thing where we're obviously transmogrifying or reality scrambling out said Hullbreaker Horror, then we would want to incorporate more creatures. That's one I wanted to use. Hissing Iguanar for sure. And Benny Brax. Benny Brax is legit. Benny Brax is so good with Kykar. I could see why you would want to use that. Halo Fountain's not bad. Halo Fountain's not a bad include. It's a little goofy because you need to untap the... If you want to win with Halo Fountain, like have it as a win con, you do need to untap with all of those creatures to get the win. I like Sunforger quite a bit. I don't know if it really works here though, but I do like it, don't get me wrong. We've got a lot of instant speed spells, and we've got quite a few sorcery speed spells. I'm going to leave everything in here that's in here though. Don't mind our land base, please. We're going to play pretends like we've got fetch lands and dual lands in here. I just didn't have an opportunity to actually build that out. But yeah, ignore that, would you? Thanks. We can incorporate... man, I love the idea of Elsha Spellseeker so much. Like, that was such a cool proposition. I think we're going to add Tidespout Tyrant to just have another utility that's doing the same thing more or less. We're going to add Grim Monolith. We have plenty of interaction, I feel. What the hell? That's not one. Nope. Okay. Thanks. Subtype. Okay. We have plenty of interaction. I wouldn't mind some more brainstorm utilities. If you know of any more that you would want to include, let me know. We'll add git probe. We should probably add more. Snap is not too integral. It's just good for removing any sort of stacks, hate bears. Oh, shoot. I didn't save out, did I? I don't know. Oh, I removed one more thing. Oh, no, I removed a few more things. We need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of this. Okay. Which means we have 5 slots available, right? I always wanted to run faces on the past and Kykar, but was thinking about a retraction helix shenanigans, but I like it with Halo Fountain. So Halo Fountain's over here. Untap 15 tapped creatures you control. You win the game. So we could get to a place where we have all these creatures for sure. It's not an easy win to accomplish, but it is doable. If Halo Fountain's a route you would like to go, we can incorporate that as a secondary win. I don't know the exact lines for it, but you and I, we can figure this out. We're smart. Okay, what did I say I wanted to add? We're going to add Git Probe. We're going to add Grim Monolith. We're going to add Tidespout Tyrant. Gitaxian Probe. Tidespout Tyrants. There's just an additional one. We're going to add Grim Monolith to help us cast things. I feel like we're missing something in our interaction suite. We don't really have much by way of artifact removal, but that's not the end of the world. Chain of Vapor is kind of a must in my book, so we're going to add Chain of Vapor. It'll save and quit out of here. 5 white pips to activate also. Tough for 3-color decks. Victoria, I'm with you on that. I do think that Halo Fountain's a hard win. If I were to make this deck in paper personally, I don't think Halo Fountain is what I would go with, solely because it is a lot to set up, but we are crewing vehicles and like getting the tapped creatures, so it's not impossible. I do like the double white untap 2 creatures to draw a card. I don't think that's unreasonable for what we're looking at. Can we leave the deck on screen for a second to look over? For sure. Yeah. Give me 1 second. So we're missing 1 card, and what I might do is just incorporate a land to get us there. I think we're at 28 lands anyways. I would prefer this deck be at 29. But right now, this is the deck in its totality. Drum Bellower is out. I just got back. Are we not on transformation anymore? No. That meant, what those meant to be on the, that was meant to be on the sideboard. Pardon. Pardonnez-moi. My heart goes out to everyone. So yes, we've got 29 lands. We've got 100 cards. This is technically deck. Man, a large part of me just wants to get this land base square. I don't want to think that hard on this though. Okay, let's just do the lands. So we're gonna do Volcanic Islands. We're gonna do Steam Vents. Okay, cool. I did it. We're gonna do Plateau. We're gonna do what's the red white one? I don't remember, but that's okay. We're gonna do the white blue one. Tundra, and my mind keeps going to Godless Shrine. That's not what it is. I want to fix up this mana base and get us going on the right path, okay? Do we have Silence in Jessica's? We have Jessica's Will, Victoria. We do not have Silence. I'm sorry. I did take us away to start adding the lands I want. Here it is again. If you can, here. Wait. Can you guys see that all right? So that's the deck in total. I'm sure we're missing staples. Trust me, I'm sure we're missing staples. If I'm missing any staple interaction that you would really like to see, please let me know. I'm just going to go ahead and start adding Halo Fountain. Thank you. Let me find the lands that we want. So Haloed, it's Haloed Fountain. Haloed Fountain. Cool, cool, love it. We're gonna add Flooded Strands. Oh, wait, did I do the... So, it's Plateau and what? Plateau and... Sorry, I'm with you all. I'm actually on a site looking this up. Shocklands. Shockland is Sacred Foundry. Cool. Because I never remember these cards. So I put Flooded Strand in. Thank you, Victoria. I put Flooded Strand in. We need to put in Polluted Delts. We need to put in Bloodstained Mire. It should be all but one. Wooded Foothills. This is going to be a very basic land base, but it's going to give us the fetches in our duels. Verdant Catacombs is the only one we can't use. Sorry. Misty Rainforest. Scalding Tarn. And Arid Mesa. Okay, so now we need to correct our land base. And then I want to play test the shit out of this. Victoria coming in with the lands. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, like, I don't commit these to memory. I'm just not that player. But I really appreciate it. So we're going to go down to 2-1-1 island. We're going to add our... I can't be this lazy. We're going to add Command Tower. We're going to add City of Brass. We're going to add Mana Confluence. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll round it out. Is Jeskai Ascendancy on the list? Can't avoid that sweet treasure. Jeskai Ascendancy. It can be. Let's put it in. If there are any lands that you feel would be good utilities in this deck, please let me know now, because we're gonna add them. Ancient Tombs, I love taking damage. I just named a bunch that I wanted. Command Tower. Command Tower, City of Brass, Mana Confluence. I think we will... No. No. We will use the one that makes spirits. What's it called? Oh, lands that make spirits come to me. Lands that make spirits come to me. It's the one that says Forbidden Orchard. Forbidden Orchard, I think. All right, and then we'll round this off with just basic lands, all right? Or one basic land. Moorland Haunt. Is Moorland Haunt a filter land? Forbidden Orchard. Thank you so much. Victoria coming in with all the lands. By the way. Thank you. Okay. So we got 26 lands, and I think at minimum we need 29. So we're going to, again, this is not the mana base you should use, but it's close to the mana base you should use. Sure, let's say that. We need to cut 2 cards, people. Jeskai Ascendancy. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, creatures you control got +1/+1 until the end of turn. Untap those creatures. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may draw a card if you do discard a card. Disguise Ascendancy I don't hate. I don't know if it's good enough. No. Untap those creatures. Hold up. Because we're crewing. Wait up. We're crewing shit. So I cast Disguise Ascendancy. Creatures in control +1/+1. And I can begin to crew. I can use the same creature to crew. Can I use the same creature to crew? This changes things. Hold up. Tap any number of creatures you control with power of 1 or more. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So if to pay the crew cost. Oh no, there's no way I can do that. But I can, if I do the crew and I cast a spell and untap them, they should be able to crew more than one vehicle, which is definitely not a safety regulation. It goes against all safety protocols is what I'm trying to say, okay? The Battle Bond lands would be sick. EDH MTG Rocky says hi. Hi, EDH MTG Rocky. How are you? Which is the opposite of what Polymorph wants? Do we have Fiery Islet? No, Johan. Again, cut the welcome. You think Jessica's Ascendancy is better than welcome, Victoria? Guys, if you want the full-on, let's just do, damn it. Fiery Islet. Are they called Battle Bond lands or they're called Horizon lands? They're called Horizon lands, right? No. What are they called? Like the luxury suite? What is the name of that set of lands? Are they called Battle Bond lands? Yeah, okay. We can use those too. Sure. Do we want Battle Bond lands? Damn it. Okay, let me cut this down. Let's cut one more card out. Let's cut one more card out and then we will fix our land base just proper. Because there seems to be a desire. I don't want to bore you guys with the land base, but it is the most important part of most decks, having a proper land base. So we'll go ahead and add the 3 Battle Bond lands and call it a day, or we can add, obviously the Horizon lands are good utilities because they let you draw. Really, whatever you want. I'm going to do 3 of one or the other. So do you guys want the Battle Bond lands or the Horizon lands? And I don't know that the Horizon lands cover all of our bases, because aren't we missing some colors for the Horizon lands? Right. So we've got Horizon Canopy, which is not us. We've got Fiery Islet, which I think was suggested. Islet, Islet, you tell me. And we have Sunbaked Canyon. I don't think that red and white are really important colors for us. So let me just go ahead and let's just do it now. We'll put in Fiery Islet. I think red and blue are important. So we'll do Fiery Islet. We'll do, we're going to do Training Grounds. And I think that having blue, white isn't bad. No, let's not do that. Maybe a filter land? Okay, name the last land you want. Gemstone Caverns, coming in with the win. Victoria. Oh my god. You single-handedly saved this deck. Bloodblade, we love Gemstone Caverns. Their names are Horizon Lands. Sunbaked Canyon. Thank you, Johan. But yeah, seriously, thank you for the save. Those are all good lands. Those were all good suggestions. We have the right mana base for Tainted Pact, but we're not in those colors. Let's cut one more card. So it's probably gonna be one of these artifacts, if I'm being honest with you. We only have 2 you know what? I put Merchant Scroll in the deck. I still like Merchant Scroll. Any sweet new lands from LOTR, Minas Tirith? Is there anything that cares about us having tokens? Like, please let me know. I think that might be something you would want to consider. I love this deck already in theory, like a lot. I'm super excited to play test this, if you can't tell. Like, this is everything I like doing in Magic. It's just all the dumb stuff that I want to do in Magic. So, very excited to test this out. Why is Training Grounds in the deck? Yeah, that was our cut. I didn't know why that was in the deck. Let's go. Holler. Hit that 100 if you're ready. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Tasty. Yeah. Hit the 100 if you're ready to play test the deck. Let's go. Kykar wins Fury. So we're going to be very easily able to put out Invasion of Segovia. Enter the battlefield, create 2 blue Kraken tokens, and I forget what the back end does. I'm just curious as to what this does. I don't think we're going to keep this hand, but non-creature spells you cast have Convoke. That is great. At the beginning of your end step, untap up to 4 target creatures. That is amazing. Really, really good for this deck. I don't think that this is a good starting hand, though. It doesn't really put us close to getting Kykar down, which is going to be difficult to do. When you have a commander that's all the colored pips of its identity, it can be a pain in the ass. So we're going to look for a hand that has some fast mana. We're going to ignore the fact that while doing this, you know, we'll technically need a mulligan. We're not going to bother with that. So this is okay. We're lacking draw utilities, but we do have mana requisite to put out nothing but hold for a Cyclonic Rift. It looks good, but it's not good. I want to get that Skull Clamp for sure. This isn't bad. We really need to cross our fingers on drawing a land, but this isn't bad. Let's just see if anything happens here. Okay, so I would prefer to lose life the one time and just have the land I need. So we'll do a volcanic. Nope, nope, nope. We're going to do, because the silence will be useful. We'll go for blue and white here. We'll go for the tundra. Because we couldn't even do Volcanic Island anyways. And then we'll drop the... We will not... No, no, no. We've got Urza Saga there. I am so sorry. I totally forgot about Urza Saga. We actually want to put Urza Saga down first. And we will get rid of the mana confluence. If you suspect that there's an opposition agent or something that's going to stop you from fetching, then I really highly suggest you keep the mana confluence. In truth, no one really cares about our life, so maybe mana confluence is the better one to keep anyways. We'll shuffle regardless. Urza Saga, and then we'll drop the Marsh Flats here. We don't need to shuffle the deck with the Marsh Flats, so it's fine. We've got nothing to do with this, but we will pass. Chain of Vapor's cool. Turns our non-land permanent to its owner's hand. We're going to put down the mana confluence. We're able to make a token here if we want, but we're not. Or maybe we do because we've got nothing better to do. We really want to get to Kykar though, so we're not there yet. We will be next turn potentially. I think I need to use Frantic Search. I think I need to use Frantic Search to hit a land. That feels bad. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'll just do it now. It's fine. You could say you want to hold for it, but it doesn't matter. Wow. Nope. Well, this doesn't help, does it? We're gonna get rid of Invasion because it's not helpful right now. This will help us inevitably. We're of Invention, but we're kind of a ways off from it. I feel like Whir is less good than Mystical Tutor, but Mystical Tutor really just wants to find Isochron's Scepter for the artifacts. Sorry, Mystical Tutor wants to find Dramatic Reversal. It's odd, but I feel like we get rid of the Chain of Vapor here, and we hold. We'll do Mystical Tutor here. No, we can't do that, though. We really need to top deck a land. We really need to top deck a land, and we did not. Okay. We're done. Lion's Eye Diamond, Clever Concealment, Hullbreak Horror. Wow, all the stuff we don't want to see. Except for Rhystic Study. I do want to see that. This is not a good hand. This is not a good hand. This is nearly playable. This is playable. It's not great, but it's playable. Yeah, still playable. Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We'll pass. We're going to do that. So exile any number of cards in your hand, put them face down. What I like about our setup is that we're able to shift around some cards here. I would honestly want to shift around to just maintain interaction, if at all. So part of me wants to hold here and then just use... Just casting the Skull Clamp without anything to do with it is usually bad, but we'll just do that. We're gonna go like 4 deep. Right, we're gonna do this. Sorry, I jumped the gun there. Did I grab 4? There you go, 4. And we'll put this back on top like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. Okay. Do we need more cantrips to make smooth out bad hands? Honestly, yes. Kykar does love cantrips, maybe. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, we want cantrips. We haven't gotten Kykar down yet, so that's the other struggle. But at any rate, we did that on turn. We're going to go ahead and pass. We didn't really get any interaction outside of Fierce Guardianship. We clearly don't really want to do this. We would probably get rid of the Frantic Search here. Although Frantic Search with Ancient Tomb is really good. But let's just play pretenses. We don't need to do anything off turn. We'll get the reshape. So this is a Gemstone Caverns, am I right? Okay. So, can we cast Kykar here with Frantic Search? I think so, right? So we'll do this in a blue, and we'll tap this for the red. We'll use Frantic Search. And we have a red floating. It's draw 2, discard. Discard 2, right? 1. So we don't need both of these. I think reshape is the better one, technically, or the other one puts it onto the battlefield. They both put them onto the battlefield. I don't know which one I want more. It's fine. It's this one. Okay. So we've got a red floating, white, blue, generic. We have 1 generic floating, so we've got the scroll rack. Nothing to do here. We could use scroll rack with the generic just to see what's what with the top of our deck. Might as well. So we'll do this. I think we need to keep... We'll use the generic and we'll drop these 2. Underworld Breach is pretty good. Okay, cool. Feels rough not having Dockside or Simian Spirit Guide, huh? Transformations lists are interesting. Blood, I gotta say, I don't know that this deck really benefits off those. The transformation lists that I enjoy usually have black in them because you're able to tutor for the transformation. We don't have very many cards in this list that can tutor for Transmogrify or Reality Scramble. That's the issue. It's very much not plan A to look for that card in this deck. I think that Kykar would heavily benefit from just going the route of having the other creatures. You could even still incorporate a Transmogrify if you want, just to potentially hit a value creature. That's not the end of the world, but I don't like this current setup as much. I don't think it's going to be as useful or as potent as just having other creatures. We also haven't hit any vehicles, and I want to use Reshape to hit one of our vehicles. Search your library for an artifact card with converted mana costs of X or less and put it onto the battlefield. Shuffle your library. This is the same thing, right? As an additional cost to cast the sacrifice an artifact, search your library for an artifact card. If that card's converted mana cost is less or equal to the sacrifice mana cost, put onto the battlefield. If it's greater, you have to pay difference. It's more or less the same thing. Let's Reshape. Solve the equation would work. This is a newer one. We just didn't add it to the We just didn't add it to the list, but yeah, no, I agree. I think that Solve the Equation makes a great deal of sense here if we're doing the transmogrify thing. All right, so we've got the 2 cards set up here. I wouldn't blame someone for wanting to hit our Skull Clamp, so I will cast Force of Negation here. Like, I could see someone wanting to just stop me from going off with that, right? So counter target non-creature spell, it's going to exile it. Okay, so we have to exile this and cast this. All right, so next turn we create a spirit token doing this. That is not the spirit token. That is the spirit token. I think all of you, I think all of what you said is accurate. Are we running the blue tutor that gets 3 cards and puts 2 in your yard? Yes, we do have intuition in here. So if you're wondering why you're looking at an Underworld Breach, it's because, yes, we do run the intuition line for it. I had to do something highly cEDH, and yes, Brain Freeze, Sabine's Reclamation, Lion's Eye Diamond, they're all in here, and they will work well in tandem with this setup, I think. They don't really benefit off the red mana we produce, but obviously casting Underworld Breach will benefit off of that. So we're going to take our turn. Oh, you know, I did not add Personal Tutor, but yes. See, Personal Tutor would be great. So Personal Tutor and Solve the Equation, I think, are the ones. I did not think that Tutor Suite through. But yes, we did just get another printing of Personal Tutor. We totally could put a copy in the list. Definitely hold for prices on Personal Tutor, by the way. I know these prices will come down. Once more of this product is open, these will come down quite a bit. So if you are going to build for this, put Personal Tutor in and use a copy once it's come down. All right, so yeah, we're gonna just start by equipping the spirit and drawing cards. All right, so we've got 1 generic floating. Kykar just makes spirits and sacrifices them, right? Okay, cool. 1, 2. We're gonna go, oh, this is horrible. Whir of Invention, improvise. Artifacts can help me cast it, right? Right. We might have to use our artifacts to help us cast this. Search your library for an artifact card with a converted mana cost of X or less and put it onto the battlefield. What artifact do we want to hit here? We've got Skull Clamp, which is like the go-to. I kind of want to put one of our vehicles. Sweet, I would love to play some cEDH Kykar someday. Looks like a cool bridge between casual and competitive. This version, I would say for sure. I think you could do much better things, and I'm gonna actually look at this after the video and take a finer look at it, because I do like the deck a lot, but like any other deck, you really want draw to help with the strategy. There's not draw in the command zone here, so we do need to find our utilities that do help us draw. Maybe the One Ring. Oh, sorry. It was 50-50 on Halo Fountain. I'm going to say no, though. I don't know what I want to hit, if I'm being honest, with Whir of Invention. If we use Whir of Invention. I don't think we have the mana base to use Whir of Invention. We could... Oh, never mind. It's definitely improvise. Tell me that the One Ring is in this deck. Tell me that the One Ring is in this deck. It is not. It very well could be, though. Wait, Victoria, do you want it in the deck? Does this... I hate that we don't have any cantrips. Okay, so we're going to use the floating... No, we don't have floating generic. We do not have floating generic. Do we have floating generic? We do have floating generic. We're going to use the 1 floating generic to put this, and this on top of our library. We'll draw that, and that. We don't need the lands whatsoever. I would love a shuffle effect, though, at this point. I'll say, Ristic Study changes things a bit. Our turn is really going to devolve to this. Create a spirit token. And then hold. I think the One Ring's good. I think it's Costly? I think this deck can benefit from it. I don't think decks like Blue Farm or decks like Kenrith or decks that have better things to put in their list care necessarily. Because the thing you're going to tutor up is really going to be the Rhystic Study or the Mystic Remorse still. I think those are the priority in lists that have blue as a color. But I do think that with all the artifact tutors we have here, it could help. It could certainly help. Preordained Ponder, I think I have Git Probe in the list and Brainstorm. Yes, thank you. So I love this little button, but it covers up your text. I can't always see your text because this stupid thing is there. Serum Visions is a good call too. We're gonna let Rhystic Study revolve, hopefully. We get the token, cool. We'll draw 1, 2, 3 cards off turn. We have no interaction. Sweet. We'll pass. That was, it's turn 4 and I only drew 3 cards off Rhystic Study. That would be kind of tragic, to be honest with you, but let's just say that's how that worked. Okay, so I really want to get rid of the top of my deck at this point. I don't know what's there, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Well, honestly, Scroll Rack off of a fetch is really good to just bottom out shit we don't want. But I think right now what I want to do more than anything is just draw some cards. So I'll do that. Equip. Get rid of this. Draw 2. We've got Goblin Bombardment. We have Goblin Bombardment and Underworld Breach in hand. We have Force of Negation, Transmute Artifact, Plains, and Frantic Search in our graveyard. We have a way to draw with Symmetry Matrix. Are we able to win the game here right now? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. And the way we drew there, let's just do it the smart way. We're going to cast Grim Monolith. We're going to cast Grim Monolith to do the thing. I was not considering that in my hand, and we'll make a token doing that. No Sensei's combo. There's no Elsha Sensei's Divining Top business in here. I think that there is a definite consideration for it here. I can't say that we need it necessarily. You can bounce it with Hullbreaker to reset the protection or the life loss, Victoria. That is true. That is really true, actually. I do like that. Yeah, same. Got a Scroll Rack down a little and read around. No Sensei's combo, no. Goblin Bombardment doing in the deck. Does it combo? It does. We were just looking for an outlet. I think that this was better. When we were suggesting Halo Fountain, I suggested we look for something that just damages people off of the tokens we're making. To be honest, you kind of want Skull Clamp to just pull through the deck instead. Like, that's just better. I like Symmetry Matrix. I think it's just too costly for the deck. The ring does work by itself, where this requires setup. I think I would say Symmetry Matrix would come out for the one ring easily. So we're going to use another generic off of the Grim Monolith to break another spirit, draw 2 more. We just got Dramatic Reversal in art I've never seen. Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. I didn't know that existed. Okay, so what's cool about that and uncool is that we don't really have colored anything else. But I think Grim Monolith will do enough, right, with Isochron Dramatic Reversal. Since Kykar is basically a mana reduction, you just need a future side effect. With Sensei's Divining Top? So Goblin Bombardment will be a outlet with the Isochron Dramatic Reversal loop. So what I want to do now is get my Dramatic Scepter loop started. So I'm holding a Whir of Invention, and I don't think we can get there too easily, because it would need to be blue, 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 cuckoo, cuckoo. We're a little mana shy on making this happen, even with the red we generate. And the Isochron Scepter is 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generic. We have 1 plateau open, We would need 2 mana to get the combo started. I think we have enough, right? Because I have 1 generic floating as well. Let's do this. So that's the 2 for X, and then we'll go 1, 2. That's the 2 for X. We're gonna get, where the hell did it go? Arid Mesa is gonna get, we already have Tundra out. We're gonna get the Volcanic Island. Okay. There's the blue. We're gonna use Whir of Invention. We're gonna get Isochron Scepter. I thought I had the mana. Oh, you know what? We definitely need to use Scroll Rack for this instead to keep the generic floating. That's right. So that goes in the battlefield and we put Dramatic Reversal under it. We're going to use the Plateau, and we're going to use the 1 colorless to cast Dramatic Reversal. And we're going to untap all of these, right? Untap all non-land permanents. So anything else? No? Bueller? Bueller? Okay, so here's how we're going to win. We make a token for that. Make a token for that. At this point, I'm just going to say that's infinite tokens, right? So we're going to do this, and because we're casting the spell, we're going to do that infinitely to make, well, infinite generic and then infinite tokens. We'll draw the deck here, but what we can do is just sacrifice one of these to cast Goblin Bombardment and then kill board with Goblin Bombardment. We can also just draw a deck with Skull Clamp until we hit Grape Shot. Because Grape Shot's in the list because it's just a Storm Win off of Brain Freeze and Underworld Breach, which was another line we could get into, but I don't think we had a clean way to get there with what was in our graveyard. I do think that there are some revisions to be made here, for sure. If we're trying to play for... There's Grape Shot. If we're trying to play for Tidespout Tyrant and Hullbreaker Horror right next to each other. Wow. So... I love the idea of using Reality Scramble or Transmogrify to get to one of these 2 creatures. I think they're both really cool utilities and good redundancy back to back. I can't say that this deck directly benefits from using them instead. I would honestly prefer that we hyper-focused good draw utilities, like low-end draw utilities off of tokens. We can put the One Ring in there. Anything to help this deck storm. All the cantrips, really all the cantrips. If there are any more utilities like Snap or Frantic Search that untap our lands, that will also be useful. But yeah, this is fine. I mean, Isochron Scepter Dramatic Reversal, that wins games by itself. It's helpful when we're able to make tokens to leverage off Skull Clamp in this sense. Thankfully, we had 1 Grim Monolith in play to get that to go off. But let me turn to you guys and see what's up. Hey. Okay, since Kykar is, yeah. So thoughts on the list, guys? I think it's interesting to go the Transmogrify route. I can't say that I liked this. I can't say I liked it with this setup. I do think that we should include... I'll put the One Ring in for now on the sideboard. Or not. There you go. Jeez. The One Ring on the sideboard. You can look at the deck with me. And we were talking about solve the equation. There was one more tutor y'all mentioned, personal tutor. I like a lot. And I don't think that I'd ultimately stick with the Transmogrify route. I'd probably incorporate some other creatures, value creatures, like Esper Sentinel, Dockside Extortionist, obviously. And we had a bunch of suggestions earlier. Archivist of Ogma is one I like. I think that's still pretty decent. What was the cantrips you had suggested earlier? I'm trying to find them in the chat. I don't know how far up they are or low they are. But Preordain. These should just go in. Ponder. And I think Serum Visions might be the last include, like, of useful cantrips. Ponder, Preordain, and Serum Visions too on the side. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I want to put them on the side for now. I think that there is definitely a home for them in this list. Like, we can't be at the point where we put Kykar down and we have nothing to do. Like, we need to threaten something. I also like the idea of incorporating more red utilities, because once we get to that point, being able to sacrifice, like, we have Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast, those are just staples. I do think that when you are turning your white and blue resources into, you know, draw off cantrips and, you know, whatever else they might have, making spirits that can generate red means that we should probably rely on a few more red instant speed utilities. So the fact that we only have a Braid, Pyro, and Red Elemental Blast is interesting, because we were tapped out in a lot of instances there. We didn't have much of our interaction, by the way. We were fortunate to pull into some good solutions, though, so far as, like, the Rhystic Study and the Mystic Remora are concerned. We never had the opportunity to play the Mystic Remora, but it's called fishing. I would love to take another crack at this with a different style of this build, because this is super fun. I wish we had an opportunity to get to our vehicles. I still think the vehicle sub strategy is actually good. I don't think it's a joke. I want to take the symmetry matrix out and just put the One Ring in now. Nautilus Shipped might be a bridge too far, but Mighty Servant Luok is awesome. I think that card is awesome. Like, I like it a whole lot. Everything else seems fine. Like, Jeskai Ascendancy is a little too color hungry for me. But everything else is really solid. Like, I don't mind the sub strategies going on in here. I do think that we should probably remove this, though. This package. And just to get the ball rolling for you all, I think that it's safe to do this. Hissing Iguanar, no. I like Benny Brax quite a bit. At the beginning of each end step, if you created a token this turn, draw a card, like, that just says Kykar all over it. We're going to take that out and that out. I think that puts us at, yeah. And then we'll do Goblin Bombardment can leave. Yes, Goblin Bombardment can win us games, but I think just relying on Grape Shot off of Underworld Breach or Isochron Dramatic Iso Rev Loop, after that, I think it's adequate. I think that we need one more win con, though. I don't know. What would you prefer over Goblin Bombardment? I agree, though, that Sensei's Dividing Top should probably go in, and I would take Scroll Rack out. Speaking of Sensei's Dividing Top, running Steel Shaper's Gift in there, just for Skull Clamp. So Blood, I normally don't do that, but this deck really wants it. I don't know if there's another. I'd like to have at least 2 targets for the spell, because otherwise it's useless. But it's fine to discard off of the Frantic Search or any other, you know, loot effect that we might be rolling with. Honestly, if we get the Skull Clamp, that's all that matters. It was crucial to our win in that last game, like vital to our win that last game. If we did Vehicles Magda, would be very cool together with Jessica Ascendancy. I could see that, Johan, actually. Actually don't mind that at all. But let's go ahead and just remove some more things here. We're at 100 cards, but I want to leave you with a deck that you could potentially make out and play. I would refine the land base with a few more utilities. I would consider potentially revising or tweaking what's here with our vehicle suite. I like the vehicles quite a bit. We have a lot of artifacts, but we never really... We did hit threshold, honestly, for our Mox Opal. So there could be a excuse for Mox Opal, because casting Kykar is a pain in the ass. Honestly, I kind of want to flush out more of our artifact mana base by putting in some talismans or signets. Like, it needs help getting there. It really does. And it would be good to have those to pull out with our Mana Vault and our Grim Monolith. I think ISO Rev is honestly the combo of choice here too, if we're relying more on our artifacts. Are you considering arcane adaptation effects with divine visitation combos? I hadn't, Christopher. I think that, let's look at that. Ooh, okay. Choose a creature type. Creatures you control are a chosen type in addition to other types. Same is true for creature spells, right? And then you would use divine visitation. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, that many 4/4 angel creature tokens are, I mean, this by itself already is a house, right? This by itself does enough. It's a little costly, but man, is that effect amazing, because you can do this at instant speed too, right? So you're making 4/4 angels. I haven't thought about that. There might be something there for that, honestly. I'm really just trying to use Kykar for face value. I think that our creature suite is pretty good right now. We need Spellseeker is the only thing I was thinking of that we need. So I want to take Scroll Rack out and put Spellseeker in. Scroll Rack was cool there, but I don't find it to be that good a utility in most instances. But I will put Spellseeker in. And for sure, I want to take more time to revise this, but this is the list as it stands. Take a screenshot, share it with your friends, your family, your lovers. I might even take a screenshot and just leave this in the community post. I know it's so many. I'm sure we're gonna get a bunch of commentary on like, what is this build? How horrible. Well, first crack, okay? Spellseeker is a creature. Yeah, I'm off of blood. So as we close this out, I am fully on board with all the Convoke shenanigans that are in here, all of the vehicles that are in here. I love that sub-strategy. I do think there is a place for it, and it can work in cEDH. I think we should be at 29 lands, though. There's more that needs to be revised here, but the package for Transmogrify, Hullbreak Horror, Tidespout Tyrant, and Reality Scramble, which can hit anything, really, is out. I would prefer we sort of focus on playing for an ISO Rev loop, and there's plenty of so that's just, infinite mana by itself, but there are plenty of outlets for that. And obviously you can do Intuition, Underworld Breach, like that whole package is its own thing. So those exist in a list as well. The outlets as it currently stands are, I think, just Grapeshot at this moment. So I highly recommend you incorporate at least one more win con. I could be wrong. There might be just another card in here that will operate as a win con by itself. No, there's not. I need to figure out if we will. I don't know what I want to add as a separate win con, but it needs a separate win con and 29 lands minimally. But I think that this is a good start for anyone looking to build out Kykar Wind's Fury. I'm sure there are plenty of lists out there you can follow, but if you want to do something with a vehicle sub-strategy, there are some pretty solid vehicles in here that I think will play well with this deck. Definitely want to run, if you're going to go slow like that, as like hold your counter magic and or add some stacks here. Ideally nothing that thwarts an Underworld Breach strategy, right? So no Grafdigger's Cages, but this is really cool. I actually really enjoy this deck, even though it was one of the more slow lists that we've built. First brush with a bunch of odd sub-strategies incorporated into it, I think it was fine. A little bit more goldfishing, a little bit more tweaking. It'll be way better. Oh, right, we're changing the transformation part now. But guys, I enjoyed that quite a bit. Thank you so much for joining me on this one. I love doing these live stream brewing sessions. If you do too, I'll encourage you to like this video. Again, it helps a whole lot. Trying to bolster this channel up, raise it, elevate it to where it deserves to be, or at least for as much effort as I put into it, get it somewhere up there. I don't know if we're going to do an Untapped podcast this weekend. I think I need to focus on some life things, but thank you for staying tuned. I'm going to definitely hold another poll for another brewing session. Let me know if there's any decks that you guys would want to brew in particular. I want to incorporate more of your suggestions, and I'm also going to hold community post as like an AMA for future videos as well. So you know, look out for those. I'm more about community driving the content here than I am about anything else, really. Like the scripted content you guys will find, a lot of it's going to be, at least for the MTG stuff, under the MTG Ambassador program, and then my own occasional short videos that are comical. So if you enjoy that, stay around for that. But yeah, not disappointed. Not disappointed in your Kykar rendition. Thank you, Christopher. I think that this is okay. I really like this bird a lot, though. I want to take time off camera to refine it for sure. The same list too. So if you go to the description, you will find the same list, and it might be revised in the future. We'll see. Thanks. This is really inspiring and worth staying up for. MTG Specs, thank you for staying up for it. I really appreciate it. And thank you. If you were the one, I forget, if you were the one who suggested the vehicles, I think it's an awesome sub strategy for this deck, and one I would highly recommend, especially with all of the artifact tutors that exist in blue. It's not difficult to get out like a powerful artifact vehicle to play with. So cool. It's late in the UK. Shoot. Well, good night. Good night. If I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, guys. It was fun. Oh, shoot. Oh, it's good. It's good, but it can be better, you know? It was me, MTG Specs. Thank you. What am I going to do with my evening now? I think I just want to work on Kykar. This was fun. There's definitely going to be another poll up soon for another legend, but I'll see you guys on the next one, and hopefully this